Hey guys, it's Wayne with Therapy Nexus. Hillary and I are here today to kind of discuss some comments that were made about the video we did on going up and downhill. And somebody first off said that I was really good at moving around in this thing. Well, there's a few reasons for that. First off, I'm not injured. This brace was given to me about 2000. Well, not this brace, but I've had a few of them. But this one, I've had a brace since 2013 to be able to use for education and teaching our patients how to use this appropriately. Because a lot of times the patients, it's hard to explain how to do the stuff if you're just standing there flat-footed without a brace on, telling them how to do it. So I've been all over Texas in this thing. I've even jumped out of a plane with one of these on. So it's very important to have something to be able to show people how to use it. That's why I have one. And also I've been using it for, 9 years. So I know how to use it really well. Let's see, but it does take years, months to develop like the feel. Like I can stand on one leg for a while with this. I can move back and forth, and also all about the strength in your glutes and your hamstring, your posterior chain needs to help you out with everything. Let's see. And of course, every injury is different. Every person is different. It's all gray. You know, it depends on what's going on with you, on how well you're gonna be able to use the devices anyway. Some people have a lot more pain than others, and the pain is different. It could be neurological. It could be, arthritic pain. So it's just, it comes in that the territory Hillary and I are in. It gets pretty crazy, and a lot of times when we hear what the injury is and we see what the patient looks like and how they're moving, we can tell about how well they're going to do. It's pretty. It's not cut and dry though. There was a question about axial loading, which is pretty much just the pressure of your body going straight into something, straight up and down. That's an axial load. And how it's done. So with the cuff, when you're wearing your device, whenever that knee goes into the cuff, you can see the strut moving here, right? And that's my knee going into the cuff. And when I'm doing that, you can see if I didn't hold, I'm pushing my heel down into the ground at the same time, and I'm putting pressure through my forefoot, and I push my knee forward. That's how you do it. If I don't push my heel to the ground, it rolls forward, right? So then my axial load on this leg is going that way. And that's one of the reasons why they chose these round struts, because they'll twist and they'll turn. The flat PDE, that flat strut that's like that flat one that's on there, it only kind of goes like this. It will get a little rotation, but the torsion that these will allow are really cool. So it unloads you, it can unload you in different angles. And also, since I'm not injured, I have a whole lot more motion I can tolerate. Some people with a bad arthritic ankle inside their foot won't allow that much. Some of them barely have 5 degrees of motion that they can tolerate. So it all comes down to the CPO being able to be an artist and also to be like an engineer and put all that together so that they can build this to where it doesn't hurt you. That's why Ryan's amazing at this. He's been doing it for, I don't even know how long, since 2005 I think is when they started making this. So he knows what he's doing with this, and he can build it exactly. He sees you, just like I said, they see this, it's not cut and dry, it's really gray. So he sees what you have, and he knows all that. He knows how to unload you. So the unloading comes from the strut holding you up in the air in this area, or not the strut, sorry, the cuff is holding me up right in this area here. So it's right there. It's pushing on my patellar tendon. It's underneath my knee. It has a good grip on me. That's for the exosym. Like the other ones with the BOA, you have to tighten it up, and it holds you underneath here like this. It tightens up, and that kind of holds them up. As long as your prosthetist knows what they're doing, or orthotist knows what they're doing. So my weight is being transferred into that cuff, through the struts, and then through that forefoot. The heel really doesn't do much then. That's how they designed this. So that was one of the questions, like, how is it unloaded? What else am I hitting, Hillary?
So when you're standing for a long period of time?
So when you're standing for a long period of time, you can really be lazy. You can see how I'm just kind of hanging out here, right here. You can watch the struts whenever I'm standing here, and I'm literally just hanging out. And so I bend my knee a little bit, and I can just hold on to that right there all day. If I'm standing flat-footed, you see it, like I talked about earlier. If you don't have some people don't get a heel wedge like I do. I have a heel wedge underneath there. It will slap you back, kind of like I was talking about when you're going uphill. But you can stand on your foot like this, but it doesn't unload you as well. If you push that knee in just a little bit, so you watch my knee here. If you push your knee in just a little bit, you can just, I'm just literally resting on the front of my knee. Like the pressure is right in here. And that's what's doing it. You can see the struts activate just a little bit when I do that. And you can stand in line all day like that when you're waiting at the airport. So, and stand up good, so have good posture. If you squeeze your glutes, it's even better. That way your posterior chain's activated. All right, next question.
Difference between walking and high impact activities.
Okay, so like how the brace is going to react and how you're unloaded. So obviously, if you're just bebopping along, this thing is made to be stiff, and my ankles doesn't move hardly at all when I'm walking. So it shouldn't hurt when you're walking. You should be able to unload you whenever you're taking that step forward. Now for high impact activities, the weight's most likely going to be transferred through your forefoot. So I'm standing on my forefoot now, and it's just like you can see more of it's going to go through the strut. You can see my strut's bending when I'm doing that. When I'm picking that foot up, the strut will bend, and I just hold myself there.
So jump or do something.
And so now more high impact is like, so if I'm jumping, it goes there. See that? But most of the weight is going through my, it hits my, the forefoot of the plate, and my knee's going through that cuff. Try doing that for a while. And so it should still unload you, but it all depends on how strong these struts are. I believe mine are like the medium-ish. They go all the way up to like, there's black ones that are like super thick and heavy. I've seen guys, we had some big dudes whenever we were in, training in the military. They had 3 struts going up, and they were really short struts. So it depends on how long they make it, how many struts there are, the size of the strut, on what they can tolerate. So we had guys that were great, Navy SEALs, Green Berets. They would have struts like this just for running and for regular day-to-day exercises. But whenever they're going out to field, they would have something they call kit. And that's their, they got their bag on, they got ammo, they got weapons, and they weigh almost 300 pounds at that moment. Whenever they went from 200 to 300 pounds, they had to have a heavier strut. So these guys would have 2 or 3 devices, and they take one with them so that they could have a heavier unloading. Another one of the questions that, or a comment that was made was taking smaller steps when you go uphill, and that's great. I didn't say that whenever I was doing the video, but whenever you take smaller steps, you spend less time on that foot. So you don't get those compensatory bowing of the legs, like somebody else said, bowing of the leg, which is, that genu valgum or genu varum. So that's varum going out, valgum's coming in, and not too great to have that. So you want to keep those feet straight, and whenever you take smaller steps, you spend more time or less time to allow that to happen. And also, smaller steps causes you to stay on your forefoot, especially going uphill. You'll be on your forefoot. That's the same thing we teach for running. You take faster steps, cadence of 180 whenever you're doing that. Let's see, anything else, Hillary?
Talk about symmetry. Symmetrical.
Oh, and also,
that's the biggest key.
And another thing, when you take smaller steps, it causes you to be more symmetrical. So you have to have, like I said, your uninvolved side should mimic your other side. Now, some of you obviously have two devices, but if
sometimes
you have more,
it might be easier.
and that's actually, yeah, it is easier, because people would complain about that a lot, or patients would complain about trying to keep that foot the same as the other one, and the other guys with the device on each side, they'd be able to keep it really easy because they're stuck in that. But so whenever you're running, you want to land on that forefoot the same way that you land on the forefoot on this side. All right?
Yep.
And then sticks. Yes, if you're going on a long hike, going up a steep hill, use sticks. If you look at people that aren't injured, these people that do the backcountry hiking or the backpacking, and they go across the country and stuff like that, they see somebody without sticks, they ask them, why don't you have sticks? So yes, please use sticks. They're great for hiking. And then anything else, Hillary? We hit them all? Don't get frustrated. Of course, you're going to get frustrated, but it's a huge learning curve to this. Some people would get it a week in. Some people would get it months in. And then 2 years later, some people are, you just got to keep trying. We have a patient that came in. They they didn't like the device that much at first, it seemed like, but they got used to it. And we talked to them, just give it a chance. Keep wearing it unless it's hurting you. Just wear it, and now wear it all the time, and they're doing great. They're going on hikes. They use it all the time. So it works out if you give it time and keep practicing. And I think that's about all our questions. We're also developing an online consultation where we're going to be doing exercises, and we can do some video analysis, stuff like that. And so we're going to be putting that up pretty soon. Let us know if you're interested, or if you have any questions or some type of content you would like us to cover. And so we can cover all that and help people out. All right. Well, thank y'all for watching, and please subscribe to everything and share it with your friends that need this. All right. Thanks. Bye.